Congratulations to the 2020 class of inductees into the Legion of Excellence. These Bearcats earned their team's highest cumulative GPA during the 2019-2020 academic year and have good standing within their respective sports. They represent the Bearcats with honor, character, and class. They understand and respect the opportunity to earn their degrees while representing UC in the sports they love. We're now going to take the time to honor each individual athlete. Griffin Merritt represents the baseball program and is from Cincinnati. A LaSalle High School product, he's a junior infielder majoring in biological sciences with the goal to go to dental school. Griffin, you tell us that you're not only studying for your dental admissions test, but you also have a goal to play professional baseball after UC. Tell us more about how you were able to balance putting the work into achieving both goals.
So my day, it gets pretty busy just because I usually have baseball right when I wake up, a lift or something of that sort. And I usually go home and start either have class or I'm studying for my dental test, which I've been studying for about 2 months now, 2 of my 3 months, and that probably comprises 5 to 7 or 8 hours of my day is studying for the test because it's very comprehensive and it's very difficult material. It's just a lot of reviewing and you get something you just got to stay consistent with. And then I get really lucky and I get to take a break and I get to go to practice, and I love going to practice just because it's like my break for the day and like it's my time to kind of like relax, I guess. So practice is always fun for me, and I think it helps me be a better baseball player because I enjoy being out there. It's not a burden to me like, oh man, we got a long practice today. Like I'm like, man, like I get 4 hours away from my desk. This is awesome. So and it makes me enjoy it. And I think when you have fun with something, you tend to be better at it and you enjoy it more, obviously. So yeah, I usually go to practice and then I come home and I get some food and then I usually hit the books again till 9, 10 o'clock. I'm kind of now I can't stay up real late because I don't really have much to do at night now because of the pandemic and everything. So I like to go to bed kind of early and I get up early and start the cycle over. And at the same time, I still find time for to like wind down and have free time and hang out with my friends or my teammates and things like that. So that stuff's important too, and that stuff kind of keeps you sane during when you're trying to get stuff off the checklist.
Griffin, we look forward to seeing your successes both on and off the baseball field. Fun fact about Griffin is his dad played baseball with Ken Griffey Jr. at Midland, and that is who he is named after. Javin Cumberland represents the men's basketball program and is from Wilmington, Ohio. He played guard for 1 year as a Bearcat under John Brannon and graduated this past summer with a 3.2 GPA and a master's degree in sports administration. Javin, graduating with a master's degree is a huge accomplishment. Can you tell us more about how you were able to balance graduate school with the rigorous schedule of playing college basketball?
I would say time management and just self-discipline. I mean, with practices, games, you always got to find some type of time where you can get everything done and just make sure you stay up on top of your academics, don't get too far behind. And yeah, I mean, it was a little tough. I mean, freshman year of college, it was tough. But I mean, just as the years go on, I mean, this was my 5th year, so I kind of knew how to get things done and efficiently, just knowing that you can't play basketball forever. I mean, so just to have something to fall back on, and that master's degree is so big, and just having that to fall back on, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Thank you, Javin. Fun fact about Javin is he's still pursuing to play professional basketball with the hopes of one day becoming a coach. Antonette Miller was a guard for the women's basketball team. She's from Detroit, Michigan. She graduated this past spring with a bachelor's degree in health promotion and education. Antonette, the women's basketball team is coming off one of their best conference seasons in 15 years. In fact, the best conference season in 15 years. Can you share with us what it was like working with Coach Hurd and the experience of being part of taking this program to new heights?
Definitely, you can see the growth that we had in these last 2 years, the Coach Hurd. It's been a process since I've stepped on campus at UC. Just each year we kept getting better and better. And when Coach Hurd came in along on staff, she really changed the culture with the women's basketball program. And, we were able to reach new heights, and it was just, it was amazing to be a part of that change and the culture change. And we had lots of fun together, and it was just amazing to have that much amount of fun and also, be successful in winning. So, as we know, we had our best year last year with making it to the conference championship and everything. And it's unfortunate that we didn't get the chance to actually, go to postseason and, see how that was. But, it was just a blessing to be able to be a part of that. And, just about, learning through that process is just, I think we really talked a lot about resiliency and just, just getting back up and trying again and, just pushing through all the struggles that we had in these past 2 years.
That's great. Fun fact about Antonette, not only does she enjoy photography, painting, and writing, but she also taught herself how to trade in the stock market throughout quarantine. That's impressive. Matthew Stump represents the cross-country program, and he's from Medina, Ohio. He's a senior majoring in mechanical engineering and has already accepted a full-time job with L3 Harris Technologies. That's the same company he did his co-op with. Matthew, describe with us your co-op experience with L3 Harris Technologies and how the co-op experience helped set up your career.
So I think the biggest thing that my co-op with L3 did for me was really to kind of affirm that I was in the right major and gave me the experience that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. When I first came to the university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I picked the major mechanical engineering because I liked math and science in high school, and it kind of makes sense that mechanical engineering is where you're going to go with that, or some form of engineering. And even through the first year classes, it was a lot of theory and equations, and it didn't show you like what an engineer did on a day-to-day basis. And so that's the biggest thing that the co-op experience gave to me, was I got to see firsthand. I got to actually do what a full-time engineer does. I got to see it, and it affirmed that that's what I wanted to do. It really showed me that I was okay with doing this as a full-time job, and I could be happy doing it. So for me, it was just a really big experience thing, that I got to have that experience that a lot of other kids don't, and I'm extremely thankful that I got to have that experience, and specifically that I got to have that with L3.
That's so awesome, Matthew. Fun fact about him is that he has a 20-year-old goldfish named Bob. Must be taking good care of that goldfish to live 20 years. That's impressive. Lauren Kemper represents the cross-country program, and she's from Bellbrook, Ohio. She's a junior studying civil engineering and plans to graduate in 2022 working as a civil engineer in the field of environmental remediation and water resources. Lauren, wow, what goes into the role of a civil engineer in the field of environmental and remediation and water resources, and what piqued your interest in this field?
Well, my first internship was actually for the Bureau of Reclamation in Arizona, and that was such a cool opportunity because a lot of the interaction that the government does there is with Native American tribes and their water allocations. And I was actually able to sit in on a town hall meeting with the Tohono O'odham Nation and to see how important water is for agriculture, for community, for everything. It was amazing. And that really piqued my interest. Since then, I've been able to work on some really cool things. Flood mitigation in Findlay, Ohio has been really cool to look at. And then there's another project, probably my favorite, which was in Louisiana, actually. And it was a sediment diversion channel, and it's designed essentially to be hurricane mitigation. So it moves all the dirt and sediment in the Mississippi River to accumulate in these basins to form as more land, which slows hurricane detriment and damage, like we're seeing with Zeta right now. So anything like that where the effects help all people indiscriminately, no matter who paid for it or who did it. It's really cool to be a part of projects like that.
Wow, what really cool and interesting experiences. Fun fact about Lauren, she's currently co-parenting a service dog named Shay, who is training for Paws for Ability. James Smith is a punter on the football team and is from Wangaratta, Australia. He's a senior majoring in communications while also getting certificates in digital engagement and film and media studies. His plan post-graduation is to train for the upcoming 2021 NFL Draft with hopes to play on an NFL team. James, if the NFL doesn't work out, you have some other plans in mind. Can you share with us what those plans are and how the football creative team has helped you in getting some experience in this role?
So if the NFL sort of dream doesn't pan out like I would hope it does, I've been lucky enough to be exposed with the football media department and being able to make and create some content with Kelsey and the new media crew, and it's been a great experience. It's definitely a foot in the door with what I would like to do after football in terms of broadcasting or public relations for an organisation.
Why would you go to Australia?
Because you're there, your family, going to take care of me.
Oh, he's going to make me cry. I love you. Thank you for that, Lawrence.
And it's just a great experience, and any experience in that sort of industry is very welcome. So if I can sort of leave UC with a little bit of experience under my belt and a few videos that I could potentially put to an employer, that's just been a great thing to have done.
That's awesome. Fun fact, James comes from a large family with 3 sisters and a brother, and his family owns and operates a large produce cherry farm in Australia. Sam Jean represents the men's golf program, and he's from Greenwood, Indiana. He's a junior studying mechanical engineering with a 4.0 GPA. Sam, you hope to pursue professional golf after UC, but you also say your dream job is to design golf clubs. Explain how your mechanical engineering degree can help pursue this dream job, and what exactly goes into designing golf clubs.
So I think my mechanical engineering degree will give me all the tools that I need, such as like knowing how to design different properties of metals and how to maximize different things. And I think I can really use that then in the golf world to try to make the best club I can. So you're maximizing distance and feel and everything. I just think that'd be really fun to be able to design it and then test what I design, and then hopefully in the future see it out in the real world and professionals using it if golf doesn't work out. I just think that'd be a really neat experience.
Wow, that is super interesting, Sam. Sam's obviously a fan of the outdoors, but outside of golf, you can also find him hiking, and one day he hopes to hike the Appalachian Trail. Vanessa Manrique represents the women's golf program, and she's from Bogota, Colombia. She's a senior majoring in chemical engineering with the hopes to get a PhD or master's in one of the areas of environmental engineering. Vanessa, how has being an international student athlete best set you up for a career in environmental engineering, and what is your career goal with this degree?
So being a student athlete has helped me to adapt to different cultures and also adapt to different languages, and I feel like having this adaptation or being able to adapt to different situations will help me out as a chemical engineer. Chemical engineering has a broad spectrum of areas that I can work in, and a company works like a country. They have their own set of rules, languages, culture, so just being able to be an international student and be able to travel around the world and explore different cultures best set me up to my career goal. I want to do a master's degree, an MBA, because I feel like having the business part and the technical part as a chemical engineer will best set me up to my career goal, that is being a CEO eventually of a big multinational company or building my own company.
Thank you, Vanessa. Outside of playing golf, Vanessa also loves spending time with her cats and baking with her grandmother. Amanda Fass is a midfielder on the lacrosse team, and she's from Fayetteville, New York. She's a senior working toward her Master's of Business Administration after she already earned her bachelor's degree in liberal arts. Amanda, you not only had an internship with cardiothoracic surgery, but you also worked as a sales associate for a boutique, which has piqued your interest in business. Describe your experiences in both positions and how you hope to combine both for a career.
2 years ago, I did an internship with a cardiac thoracic surgeon. It was a 6-week internship, and I went from the hospital from 7 to 2. And when I went in, I did rounds with the surgeon, and I was in the operating room for hours watching open heart surgery. And every day I had to get a stool because I was too short, so I would stand behind the patient's head, and I would stand on 1 or 2 stools to be able to look over the curtain to see the procedure happening in front of me. And what I loved most about this was being able to see just the human heart in front of me just beating, and just seeing the blood pump in and out of the heart, and when they took all the blood out and put all the blood back in. It was an unbelievable experience, and I'm very grateful that I had to do that, but because it wasn't paid, I then had to look for a job. So I was at the hospital from 7 to 2, And then I worked at an interior design boutique. It was kind of like an interior design home studio from 3 to 6 every day. And there I was really introduced into the business world, and I learned about the ins and outs of running a successful business. And I did customer daily interaction every day, and I even opened and closed the store, and I was a buyer for the store as well. So because of this whole thing, I just loved going to work, and I loved going into the hospital. I wanted to bridge my love of medicine with the business world.
Wow, you sure stayed busy working both of those jobs and playing lacrosse. Fun fact about Amanda is that she's a triplet. Both of her sisters, Adriana and Alexandra, also play on the UC lacrosse team. This year we have 2 inductees into the Legion of Excellence for women's soccer. First up is Annie Metzger from Cincinnati. Annie plays defense and forward, and she's a junior studying medical sciences with a 4.0 GPA. She has plans to go to graduate school to become a physician. Annie, you volunteer a lot in the community, but one specific place you volunteer at is Weightless Anchor in Price Hill, working with impoverished women. Can you share with us what that experience has been like for you?
That experience has been so life-giving. I've learned so much compassion and empathy, helping those women out. You know, a lot of them are just born into their circumstances and there's nothing they can do to change it. They can't change the family that they were born into. They can't change the neighborhood they grew up in. And so serving them in a unique way has been so impactful. And just providing food and clothes and a shelter for a little bit of time and even a hot shower, it means the world to them. And so when you see that you can give that life to somebody else, you have that same impact inside of you, and it brings you so much more joy.
Thank you, Annie. Not only does Annie volunteer at Weightless Anchor, she also volunteers in a local research lab studying the effects of stress on obesity and how what you eat during stress impacts your body. Next up for women's soccer, we have Carly Royer from Westerville, Ohio. Carly plays defense and is a redshirt junior majoring in psychology. She also currently holds a 4.0 GPA. Carly, you want to pursue a master's degree in school psychology and work as a children's psychologist, but what influenced you to go toward this career path?
So I knew that I wanted to do something in the psychology field, but I also wanted to tie in some of my other interests, like working with children and working with children with special needs. I've grown up working like babysitting and working kids camps, and I just really enjoy being around kids and working with them. And then I also grew up around my cousin who has autism. So being a school psychologist will allow me to work with kids and kids with special needs, and I'll be able to help them get the best education for themselves that's tailored to each of their specific needs. And I'll also be there for them during their really tough formative years. And with mental illness being a growing concern in today's society, there are many kids that are struggling with mental illness or have a tough home life or struggling to make friends or don't have anyone to talk to. And having me there would allow them to have someone to talk to and someone to look up to. And growing up, I've seen how teachers and the faculty can have such a big impact on students, and I just want to be that for students and have them have me as a role model.
Carly, the children will be lucky to work with you. Fun fact about Carly is that she had the same soccer coach from when she first started soccer at age 3 all the way until she was 15 years old. Sounds like this soccer coach had a huge impact on the skills she has on the field. Zach Baker swims the breaststroke, an individual medley for the men's swimming and diving team, and is from Springboro, Ohio. He's a senior majoring in finance with hopes to become a financial advisor one day. Zach, you were just a freshman when the men's team won their first conference championship. Tell us what it was like to be part of that experience, and then what it felt like to do it again the following year.
Well, I knew that when I came to UC that I was on a team full of very talented individuals. And just seeing everybody come together, support one another, and accomplish what we did that year was truly just an amazing way to spend my freshman year here in college. And the fact that we did it not once but twice, I think really goes to show that this program is heading in a good direction. When you have a team like the Bearcats and everybody's just there for one another every day, I think you can accomplish things that you couldn't have without such a strong team. And Lastly, I just want to say thank you to Coach Mandy for giving me the opportunity to swim here. It is such an honor. And thank you for this award. Go Cats.
Thanks, Zach. Outside of swimming, Zach likes to participate in water sports, and you can find him wakeboarding in the summer on Lake Cumberland. Audrey Cappari is a diver on the women's swimming and diving team, and she's from Cincinnati. A graduate of Walnut Hills High School, she's a senior working toward her master's in sport administration after already earning her bachelor's degree in political science. Audrey, we hear that you eventually want to go to law school here at UC. Tell us more about your internship that you had with KMG Sports Management, and how is that preparing you to work in sports law?
I started my internship with KMG during the spring of my sophomore year. KMG is a sports management company that has athletes around the world and athletic directors throughout the United States. I started with them to help rework their website and manage their social media accounts, but I was eventually able to move on to helping review some of their athletic directors' contracts. This led me to realize that I want to pursue a future in collegiate athletics with working with student athletes. In doing this, I was able to learn what should go into a contract and what needs to be there, and how to rearrange wording. I'm so thankful for my experiences working with KMG and University of Cincinnati Athletics throughout my collegiate career.
What a really awesome experience working with KMG. When Audrey is not diving, you can still find her in the water paddleboarding and kayaking during the summer. Joanna Gunno represents the tennis program and is from Craiova, Romania. She's a senior majoring in finance and minoring in information systems. She plans to pursue her master's degree in information systems in January of 2021. Joanna, in Romania you were a national champion, not only in singles but doubles 2 years in a row. Tell us more about how you got started playing tennis and what eventually led you to come play here at Cincinnati.
So my brother started playing tennis and I was going to his practices, and at that time all I was doing was to pick up the balls. And one day I got tired of doing it, so I said I don't want to pick up the balls anymore. I want to hit the ball, and pretty much this is how it started. But I had to wait another year. I was still little, I couldn't even hold the racket, and at that time there weren't like little rackets or like lighter tennis balls, so the coach said I should wait another year. And how I decided to come to college is that at home there are no college sports, and I wanted to continue my education and at the same time to compete playing the sport I love. So having the opportunity to come here allowed me to get my degree and compete and continue to play tennis. So Cincinnati was the only school I visited, my first and only school I visited, and I just liked everything about the school, the staff, my team, and I think it was the right place for me to accomplish what I want.
Fun fact about Joanna and her family, her dad used to be a professional mountain climber, and when she goes home in the winter, they climb mountains together. Damian Berthold is an All-American with the track and field program from France. He's a senior working toward his Master's of Business Administration degree after receiving his bachelor's degree in information technology. After graduation, he has plans to find an internship until January 2022, where he will then return to France to continue his academics. Damian, you compete in the decathlon, which is 10 different events. Can you go into a little more detail about what it's like to train for so many different events, and how does that help prepare you for life after college?
First of all, thank you for the Legion of Excellence. That's a major recognition for me. I'm really grateful and thankful to be here at the University of Cincinnati. So for me, the decathlon, it's 10 events, as you say. It's 10 days. We get the 100-meter long jump, shot put, high jump 400-meter, and the second day we get the 110 hurdle, the discus, we get pole vault, javelin, and the 1500-meter. So this is a lot of events. So to prepare for it, every week I'm practicing 6 days out of 7, and I'm doing, I would say, 3 hours a day of practicing my techniques and running to be prepared for the competition. And I would say that really helped me creating a schedule, being consistent every day, because I'm doing my MBA right now and I'm taking 20 credit hours, so this is a lot of work. And to be able to do both at the same time. I was able to create the good framework for me, schedule, be on time, do what I gotta do every day, and just repeating. And last year was a great year. I won this excellence, the Legion of Excellence. I was an All-American, and I think that next year is going to bring even more recognition. Thank you.
Thanks, Damian. Some more fun facts about Damian are he is the track team captain this year, and he loves technology. Jane Senzabal represents the track and field program, and she's from Solon, Ohio. A thrower, she's a senior double majoring in philosophy and psychology. Jane, you plan to go into law school, but before attending, you want to take a gap year with 2 options of work. Can you explain what those 2 options are and how they would help you in your goal of becoming a criminal prosecutor?
So my 2 options before law school are to either be an intern for a legal firm or to do this program in France called TAPIF, which is a teaching assistant program in France. With that, I would be helping to teach English as a second language to French students. And then the other option with the law internship would be to allow me to kind of gather information and experience in the law field, whereas TAPIF would allow me to experience other cultures.
Good luck, Jane, and hopefully you find yourself in France. Fun fact about Jane is that she knows every word to the Hamilton musical. She's a big Hamilton fan. Chrysanthe Stamatiu is an outside hitter on the volleyball team and is from Volos, Greece. She's a senior majoring in political sciences and will attend graduate school to study communications at Bellarmine University. Chrysanthe, as an international student athlete, can you share with us the decision to stay here in the States to go to graduate school and what you hope to do with your communications degree?
I am graduating from my undergraduate degree in political science this semester, and with COVID-19 pandemic happening and my senior season getting moved to the spring of 2021, I decided to pursue a master's degree while still using my last year of eligibility as a volleyball player. The reason why I chose the arts of communication is because I think it's directly connected with political science. Going into my political science degree, I was always interested in diplomacy and how it works. So I believe that a master's in communication will help me improve my skills of interacting with different audiences and communicating with different cultures without being disconnected or insensitive. I think that throughout my academic and athletic career at the University of Cincinnati, I realized how important it is to be able to appropriately communicate with other people. It also made me realize that, a successful professional career isn't only about the content, but it's mostly about the delivery. I'm definitely very excited to see where this degree takes me, and very excited in general for the opportunity and my future career plans, whether that would be, back home in Greece, in Europe, or here at the United States.
Thank you, Chrysanthe. Did you know that Chrysanthe also plays the guitar and can sing? She actually went to a high school focused on music in Greece before transferring to a sports high school to play volleyball. Once again, congratulations to our 2020 inductees into the Legion of Excellence.